Hey guys, one of the days where everybody in your locality is home, everybody in your city is, and due to this COVID-19 shutdown, I think another 2-3 weeks is going to be really quiet. Now, just to fight my boredom in one of the days, what I've just done now is taken the bike out so that I just start it and leave it for the battery to just stay in charge. And post that, I thought, let me just make a short video about what are the top 5 things that I use on a motorcycle or for myself. Not quite the essentials, but the good to have sort. So the first thing let me talk about is what I use is the hydration bag. So this is one from Decathlon, and it's a 2-liter cycling hydration bag. Now what happens generally is when you do long rides is that you tend to get dehydrated and you just don't realize it. You can either carry a water bottle, open it and keep drinking water, or keep this where you can keep sipping water as on the move. Same thing can be used even while you're trekking. So this thing is very handy, and also the bag by itself, it holds about I think 5 or 6 liters of storage space that it's got. Where is that? Yeah, it's 6-liter one, where you can get in 1 or 2 shirts in it, and maybe a small towel if you're going down to the waterfall or somewhere. That's the first thing that I actually use. The second, on the similar topic, if you've seen here, is actually a water filter or water purifier that I use. So this is from a brand called Sawyer. So these guys make water filters for different purposes. So this is what I've done: cut the pipe here, put this device here in between, not battery operated, nothing. It's just I think an activated carbon or whatever the contents it's got, though I'll put a link up for the site. But I've been using it for the last 6 months or so, or more than that I think, and very satisfied with it. Does it work? Now, I've always been very sensitive to water, and have preferred drinking water in good sources. So in this one, I fill up water in the hydration bag from wherever it is, drink through that. One thing is, yes, the flow rate reduces a little, but not by so much, but it's something that you can live with. And this costs about $2.5 I think for this particular model. I'll put the details up on the comments. So those were the two. The third thing, not an essential, but it's something that I really like on all my motorcycles, is the ram mount. So this is something which is really useful. If you look at it, right, you have the 1-inch ball mount that you get on the ram or from the ram, and you can actually use that for either a phone mount, or you could use it even as for your GoPro holders or any other accessories, because if you have an action cam mounted at this angle here, it's really helpful, and either pointed to you, you get your angle. Now, so the ball mount by itself is really useful and stable. And 2, using the RAM mount for the phone. So I've been using this for the last 4-5 years I guess, and it is stable, really stable. I actually use this even without this rubber mount. I don't rubber add-on, that is, I don't use that. But even without that, I've been really happy with the RAM mount itself, because the rubbers are really strong, and the hold, even though off-road, speed breakers, jump over, it still holds. But again, I'm not saying that it will. If it falls, use this, or if you think it's going to fall. So this is a good investment. It's a little expensive, it's about 4,500 or so, but instead of getting the Chinese ones at 400 rupees and see that your phone falls off, this might be a better thing to do. So get RAM, invest in that once, and you should be good to go there. The next one on the same lines here is my tank bag. So I've been using my tank bag since a very long time on every possible motorcycle because I find it to be utilitarian. Generally I don't keep my phone with me in the pocket while I'm riding or in my riding jacket or pant. It gets in the way, so I prefer it to be in the tank bag, and a quick tour of that will have my rain gear, wallet, and one or two other small things which is quite useful. So I can generally I do 2-day trips with just the tank bag. I don't see the need to carry a top box. I travel light, so the tank bag is quite good. Now a lot of people have the notion that it gets in the way while you're riding, but I don't feel it to be much of a problem because on this sort of a bike or even on a sports bike I've had no issues with it. Now you get plastic tanks, you have different way to mount it, or you have a metal tank, you have magnets. So I don't endorse any brand here because each bike, a different model might be really good. So look for what works for you and try getting one if you think it helps you. And last but not the least, what I really see essential on the bike is the 5-volt output, USB output. So this is the one that helps me charge my phone from here, and this comes along with a 12-volt cigarette lighter output, so that if I have a puncture, right, so I can put in the socket here from my puncture kit and then fill up air. And this 5-volt socket, it generally comes with an inline fuse, and as well as this thing is, I don't know to say waterproof. I've ridden it in enough rains, and this I moved it from my old bike to here. It's been 5 years. The same thing has been running without problems. So that is one. And the last one that I'll want to talk about as not quite an essential, but it's something that makes a lot of a difference, is the Comm Unit. In my case here I'm using a Sena 20S. Now this is expensive for somebody who's just using it for a city use or so, but if you're touring, right, in a group or with friends or a pillion, then with this you'll be able to cover distances and you just don't realize the strain, because you're always talking about what's happening around, sighting and blind spots where somebody is there, and in general conversation. So this just makes your tour much more fun. Now you again here in this point, you get Chinese ones for about 3K, 2K. That is really good if you're using it alone, but if you're there in a group, then what happens is the pairing between these branded ones and the Chinese unbranded generic ones, right, you will have to go into a universal Bluetooth and then use, so the quality of conversation goes down and the whole noise cancellation feature is thrown out of the window. Now if you're coming to again a brand between Sena or a Cardo, nothing. I really don't endorse or prefer any one over the other, because both do exactly the same job. It's just that if you have a friend set who have got more Senas, just get the Sena. And if you vice versa, if you have friends with Cardos, get that. But otherwise, overall, that is something which makes your journey more memorable for the rider and pillion. What more good to have, I'll rather put it on any bike, will be next your adjustable levers. So these make hell of a difference if you have them. So try looking for OEMs itself if you have, and swap over. It's good. Otherwise you get aftermarket ones, you could switch over to that. And what more, because primarily as the main essential you need will be just the bike and fuel. That's it. And other than that, everything else is good to have. So these are something that I generally have on my riding trips. Alright guys, so something to just keep me going during this lockdown. I guess I'll make something more with, let's say, what I generally pack on my 2-day trips or my long trips. Thanks guys. Any questions, just drop it in the comments. I'll try answering them. Bye bye.